What if you could leverage the time, effort, and money your opposition, your competitors, have put into building up their businesses and divert that traffic, that interest, and those potential leads into your business to make more sales? Is that something you consider doing? Well, if so, pay close attention, because in this video, what I want to talk about is the pros and cons of actually advertising on your competitor brand names or brand terms with Google Ads. So in case you're not aware, with Google Ads, you can actually advertise on your competitors' names. So if you're company A and your competitor's company B, you could actually have ads for your business show up when someone searches company B. Now, depending on exactly how much you're willing to pay, how much your competitor's willing to pay if they're defending their own brand name, and I'll come to that point shortly, and a few other factors that obviously go into the way Google's ad system works, you may or may not be able to run ads, but for all intents and purposes, most businesses can generally get away with running ads against competitor names. And really the purpose of doing this is that someone comes along, they look up one of your competitors, they see your ad instead, and they choose to click. One of the most common examples I'll see of this is here in New Zealand. Quite often if you search for Pizza Hut, Domino's Pizza shows up above with usually quite a juicy coupon. So if you're ever hungry and after pizza for dinner, that's not a bad way to get yourself a little discount if they are running that particular ad at that particular time. But should you actually advertise against your competitor brand names? This is something you should consider. Really, there are two schools of thought here. One is that if you have the funds, the sort of resources to be able to do this, and you can do it effectively, then you should try it. Basically, your competitors are putting effort into branding, people are looking up their brand name, and if you can hijack some of that traffic and present your offer, which is hopefully better or more compelling, then you might be able to steer some of that traffic away and win more sales. Now, the argument against actually advertising on competitor names on Google Ads is basically that firstly, the person searching for your competitor is very specifically looking for that other business. You both might sell blue widgets, but they might be looking for company B's blue widgets in particular and not your blue widgets. So even if you put yourself in front of them, there's a higher risk than with normal search traffic that they click, they have a look, and what you're actually searching for or what you're offering is not exactly what that user is looking for, and so the performance might actually take a hit. It might not be so good as you think. Another reason you may not want to actually go down the path of advertising for competitors is that basically the way Google's ad system works is it's all based on relevancy. Now, if you're trying to show up as an ad for a particular company and you're not that company, you're going to pay more per click. And I've seen accounts where competitor ads are, significantly more expensive than advertising on generic keywords. So you do need to bear that in mind as well. And what can happen is this competitor activity can actually wind up eating into budget that would be better spent elsewhere. So my view is that if you have a very tight budget, if you're really trying to keep things lean with your Google advertising, don't go after competitors. In fact, make sure you're adding your competitor names as negative keywords. On the other hand, if you think that your competitors aren't doing a very good job at defending their brand names, maybe you search their brand names and no ads come up, and you've got a bit of money spare in your budget and you're willing to accept that you're probably going to face higher acquisition costs, but maybe you've got a strong customer lifetime value to offset that, then you may want to consider competing for your competitors' brand names. Now, just to reiterate and just to clarify, this doesn't mean that you go out and you write ad copy that says, Company A, we're better than Company B, because you can't really use your competitors' brand name, their trademark terms, those kind of things in your ad copy. I'm not a lawyer, so that's not the exact wording that would probably apply from a legal sense, but hopefully it makes sense. However, what you can do is bid on their brand names and then present your offering as an alternative. I have seen some companies do some pretty clever advertising around this that's very eye-catching, but as a rule, just going out there and saying, hey, here's an alternative to what you were looking for. It can work. You may need to test it. You may need to put some money into doing that testing. But if you've got the budget sitting there to try something different, you don't mind if your acquisition costs are a bit higher, and you're not too concerned about the potential, ramifications, the downsides of advertising on competitor names. Sometimes competitors will sort of hit you up and say, hey, what are you doing? Let's not get into this funny business. Well, as long as you're okay with that, it might be worth a try. So yeah, please let me know if you need any help. If you're not sure whether this is actually a good option for your business or not, I'm happy to take a look at what you're doing and make some recommendations. And if you'd like more digital marketing advice, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. I've got videos coming out weekly, and I look forward to helping you grow your business online.